to Babes of Quincy. I'm Katie, and that's Kay. We are your underqualified babes chatting with qualified people to learn more about the baddest and brightest people and events in the Quincy area. But first, let's catch up. Hello. It's just Katie. Kay's not feeling well today. She's got the saddies and a cold. So that's just altogether not fun. So it's just me talking to myself. It's kind of weird. Miss her. This week's guest was really cool. What happens is we record with our guest the week before. I edit, and then Kay and I usually come in the day it is going to be released, and we record our intro and extra, if you will. So that's why sometimes what we're talking about, we get really into things. But so this guest, we had a guest scheduled and it didn't work out, just timing wise. So Kay was talking to this guest and it just so happened they had the day off and could come in and record. And it was so fun. We had so much fun. There's so much laughter. Editing the episode was super fun. I don't have a lot to say, so I'm going to let you get right into it. You're going to learn lots of things. Hopefully you laugh a lot and it brightens your day.
Long intro.
You've done a lot of shit.
I've done a lot of things.
I know. And it's I thank you. And I got some cool stuff going on too. So
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get
you
into
ready?
all of it.
yeah. Are we going? Right? We're going.
We're going.
Well, I'm gonna.
Do I need a head thing or no?
No,
If you
I
want.
don't. You can put it on if
Really?
you want.
Will
Yeah.
I hear you or no?
I think so. Do you
Okay.
hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the head thing. It looks
Yeah.
profesh.
I don't like it. I get claustrophobic, so I do the one ear. Okay.
Oh, that's smart.
I'm not even sure how to start the introduction for our guest this week. You've definitely heard his name. You probably follow his Instagram. You may have had the pleasure of tasting his food, and you've possibly seen him on his on a new TV show. Stealing most of the following information from his own website, he grew up in rural Ontario and has French-Canadian roots. He knew at an early age that the kitchen was his calling. He completed training at George Brown College in Toronto and entered into the big city food scene. He worked at Oliver and Bonacini, Le Select Bistro? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This one I can't. Enoteca? No way. Got it.
Yeah.
And Parts and Labor. After increasing the local food and wine awareness in the city, he wanted a simpler life and moved to Prince Edward County with his family. He put Wellington on the food map as a chef at Pomodoro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in late 2014, opened the Drake Devonshire Inn. If that is not enough, in 2017, he launched an interactive private dining experience followed by a super hot maple syrup company. He has recently celebrated his 15th wedding anniversary and has some really cute kiddos. He has started his acting career in the local Stoney Lonesome show and has been touched on the shoulder by one of my celebrity crushes, Matty Matheson. His Instagram will make your mouth water with endless food pictures as he yells at you with capitalized captions. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between, please welcome Matt DeMille.
Thank you.
Hi.
This is fun. Hi. How are you guys?
Thanks
You
for
guys are kind of matching.
I know.
I know the hats. I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
We talked last night. We were like, what are you wearing? What hat are you wearing?
And you were like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
kitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a toque day.
it is a toque
I'm
day.
already sweating, so
I know
I
I
don't
am
think I
too,
could wear
but
a
like
hat.
I'm wearing like a tank top under this, and it's just
Same. I can't take it
Yeah.
off. I regret everything.
I know.
oh F my life.
I'm wearing my bathing suit under this, so if it gets too stuffy, I brought my bathing
He's
suit.
gonna be nude by the end of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You've already
Like,
taken a layer off. Like just keep going.
Yeah,
But no,
I'm good.
please don't.
Guys, thank you for having me. This is cool.
I fangirled hard last night when Kay was like, "We're getting Matt DeMille." I was like, "Oh,
Yes.
okay."
It was so last minute. I was literally
Yeah.
catering a wedding last night
Shut up.
when you
I saw
texted
your
me.
Instagram.
And I was like, hang on, guys. The food can wait. I gotta
This
message
is
Kay back.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was just like one of those things where like a guest couldn't make it. And I was like, who can we get? And I was like, wait, Matt.
Yeah, because we spoke before that and you were like, we're booking in November, which is that's so
Yeah.
awesome. Good
Yeah,
for you guys. Like
thanks.
into November. That's pretty cool.
It's usually chaos. Like we have guests planned out, and then like everyone's busy, which is so fair.
Yeah.
So it's chaos, but we're chaos, so it works.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like were people always this busy? Like I feel like everyone's like, how are you? I'm busy. How are you? I'm busy. Like, were we always this busy, or is it just the age we
I
live
think
in?
it's an age
I think,
thing.
Yeah.
I find in my 20s, I was chaotically busy. But now that I'm in like my 30s, it's like I'm busy, but it's more structured busy.
Right. Yeah.
don't like it.
controlled. A
Yeah.
little more controlled. Well, that's good. It's good to be busy. you know? Because when you ask people, you're like, hey, how are you? And you're like, I'm not busy. You know what I mean? Like,
It's weird.
yeah,
I don't understand people who aren't busy.
I know.
Like,
Like you just go home at night and
I'm like, wait, what?
make dinner?
You chill and you have
What's that like?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I feel like now I'm chilling more than I was, which is a weird feeling.
Yeah.
But slowly learning that I don't have to be busy all the time to have purpose.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. Because I think you have that life fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of like, oh, there's like my phone bill and my rent and my whatever. And you're just like, if I'm not constantly doing something, then I'm going to, you know, lose everything. But no, we're good. You're
We're
good.
good. Everyone, take a
and
breath.
then you hit walls and have breakdowns.
Yeah.
A good old mentee B,
Mentee B.
we love mentee B.
Yeah. Aw.
We're really into crafting.
I
right
love
now.
I love your little projects and the what's it, the stitch, what do you call that little stitching thing you do?
Embroidery.
Yeah.
Well, there's
a
like
little,
embroidery. There's
cross
I just started crocheting.
Yeah.
okay.
So I just
She
made
made a devil baby.
fuck off. It's cute now.
Debatable.
No, it was a bunny, but he looked a little bit possessed at one point.
Devil bunny.
Yeah.
Like I made a little octopus yesterday.
Oh.
So yeah.
You just did that in one day?
Well, I mean, I did the body in like an hour, and then last night I did the legs.
That would take me like 3 days. That would take me.
Normally,
I would just buy
that's
that.
1 day longer than it took.
I would just buy that.
1 day longer than I did it.
I would buy it for $46 off Indigo.
I have this toxic trait where, like, when I see something, I'm like, I could make that. Like, it
Yeah.
could be a white T-shirt, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I could make that. I don't need to buy that.
I know. So I'm super like, I'm like that as well. But the whole thing is like, I have a not skeptical partner, but like a partner that knows that like my limits.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh, I can climb Everest. I'll start pricing it out. She's like, no, you get like tired going up, like picking up a pumpkin. Like don't.
Fall activities make you sleepy.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
yes, they do.
I'm tired.
That sounds like me and my partner. I've had to be like, she's very much like, we could do this and this. And I'm like, okay, but are we going to have a mental breakdown, which I'm now referring to as mentee Bs. If I'm going to have a mentee B.
You're like, is that a candy? You're like, no.
No.
It's kind of a candy, but not a good one.
It's a scary candy.
Yeah.
My first question I wrote down is, are you raw dogging happiness? Because you just look so happy.
I'm like, just, it's so funny because my son takes after me big time. And every morning he wakes up and it doesn't matter if he went to bed at like 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 11 p.m. He's 12, so we're okay.
Yeah.
He's almost 12. We're okay with like 11 p.m. some nights, but he wakes up every morning. He's got this giant smile on his face and he's just like, hi. And I'm like, this guy's just like happy every morning. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm generally, I'm just like happy every day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just stoked, you know, like, I'm like, okay, today I'm going to do this. And like this weekend I got this coming up and I'm going to have this for lunch, you know? And I'm just,
I need that mental attitude. Like I need that perspective.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, you know, today I'm going to go like do some grocery shopping and then I'm going to do an Instagram reel later. And I'm just like, that's exciting. And that's all I have to do. So I think part of the reason I'm like happy today too, is because I'm like, that's it. You know, like I don't have to, it's kind of a day off, which is nice.
I drag you in here.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's all,
sorry, come
this is
talk
great.
to us for an hour. About your life.
Yeah. No, but that's, I'm just generally like, just, you know, it's all good. Right?
Have you always been like that? Like as a kid, were you all just like,
yeah. And I think maybe because my son is like that and my dad's kind of like that as well. I think that's maybe it just like runs in the family. You know what I mean? Like just a good amount of positivity. But yeah, always been like that, I guess.
You should write like a self-help book for other people.
Yeah. Just, you know, just go shopping. Do a reel. Yeah.
Do a reel. We love
fun.
reels. Oh, I was reel coordinator at my brother's wedding. No one asked me to do it, but I said, I'm going to be reel coordinator here.
Right. You know what's crazy? I did a wedding a few months ago in the county, and there was a woman hired at the wedding who had the bride and the groom's phones. She just walked around.
What I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Katie.
Yeah. It's a thing.
We were like, okay, like this could be like a side hustle.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well,
It could be like, I'm going to be the person who is capturing all of the moments, but it's only on a cell phone so you can share it on socials later.
Exactly. She just walked around the whole time with the bride and the groom's phone. Because if you're getting married,
you're
so busy, you're not going to like pull your phone out of your suit. she was just walking around with that. And I'm like, that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Also, because my brother's wife said, because they don't get the pictures, like they kind of see pictures soon after, but they just got the pictures of the wedding was in August and they got them, now it's October.
Yeah.
So you don't get to really see a lot of the day.
Right.
So I just kept yelling, do it for the reels.
Do it for the,
I was the most obnoxious person at the wedding. Shocking.
It's amazing. And if I go too far off like topic or.
No, we do that all the time.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's a topic?
Yeah. Topic. It's amazing to me. And I like talk about this all the time, but how curated everything is now.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
You know, and this is like sort of broad, like going off the like 2-phone hired person, but like everything now, it's like, it used to be okay to serve like Maxwell House at a restaurant and white bread and just like
I
table
love
stock,
white bread.
you know, but
Straight up,
now, and this is kind of just like from a food perspective, but everything like toques or coffee or everything now has to be fermented and, you know, taking photos of, like, it's crazy how
it's so
you
true.
have to take photos of everything and I can never get the right light. It's like a whole thing in my life.
I want to buy one of those sunset lights off Amazon, by the way.
What is that?
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I have one.
Why don't we have it in the office?
It's
sunset
great.
light.
So it basically gives you golden hour at any time of day.
Yeah.
It's great.
Even for like Aaron's desserts, I was thinking like, you know, having some desserts just with that, like, you know, some ferns and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying, guys.
I feel like you're killing it. You do have a lot of followers on Instagram.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? Like I got on Instagram like literally 2 weeks after it started.
I thought you were going to say 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh,
yeah,
bold, okay.
2 weeks ago. But I literally got on Instagram like 2 weeks after it started and I'm still sitting just like comfy at 7.6K. And I'm like, I feel like it should be, I don't know, maybe because I don't
give you a solid boost with our 260 followers.
Thank
we
you.
have 340 now.
Oh, sick.
It's upping.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere, you guys. You know
it
what I mean?
gets wild though. Once you start hitting like the bigger numbers, I find after 20K, it really starts to like steamroll.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you probably
then you start you get pushed into the algorithm more.
Right.
The goal now is to get you to 20,000.
Let's if you repost my stuff, please.
Oh, our
lift me up.
340 people.
Let's lift each other up.
Where did you grow up? What rural area is your website talking about?
So I was actually born in the Ottawa, Eastern Ontario. I was born around Ottawa, small town called Carleton Place. Barhaven. Then we moved to Carleton Place. So around my parents worked in Ottawa. My mom's side of the family is from that area. And then we moved up here when I was 8 years old and we lived near Melrose or like around Shannonville.
Oh.
Yeah. So we lived out there till I
didn't know you were originally kind of from here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up here. We moved here when I was 8. And then when I was 21, I moved to Toronto for school. So yeah, QSS, Quinny Secondary School.
Yes.
It's gone, right?
Which is now a COVID lab. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought they're turning it into like affordable housing.
Really?
I think so.
That'd be great.
They're doing something with the building.
Yeah. Just a giant building sitting there, you know, with rooms. Like
literally rooms.
Yeah. It's
and
perfect.
Plumbing in probably all the rooms.
Yeah.
Or something.
They'll probably see my name. Like the people sleeping there will be like, who's Matt DeMille? Yeah, plus whoever.
And then
just
they'll
like
look you up on
the little
Instagram.
part of like the wall out. It's like, this is a memento. I'm going to sell it on eBay for $1 million.
Okay, and then you went to Toronto and you went to George Brown.
Yeah, I moved to Toronto when I was 21. Took the like base like chef training class, or what should I say, program at George Brown College. It's like a year long certificate program. You just learn all the basics.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. Met a lot of new friends in Toronto. But I mean, that transition, like when I was a kid, maybe I visited Toronto like 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, it's got Wonderland.
Yeah.
And it's got
Yorkdale.
Yeah. it's got a Costco, you know? I'm like, what is this Costco? And then so when I was 21, I went from like Belleville, Ontario, not even like Melrose, Ontario, to like Toronto. And not only, but like Sherbourne and Carleton, like that area.
Yeah.
So I went from like, you know, 3 channels on my TV to like
a lot of channels.
Yeah. A lot of good channels. And so that sort of like, that was crazy. That transition, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know,
it's a culture fuck.
Yeah, totally.
I struggled with that.
I did that too because I was from Timmins and I moved to Toronto.
Are you from Timmins?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well,
because it's Timmins.
Oh, you're like, I don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved from Timmins to Toronto and I've been to Toronto once at that point, like ever. And it was like, and then I lived in Kensington Market.
Yeah.
good
for
Right.
area.
2.5 years.
So you went right into the belly of the beast.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Freaking
See-
loved it. And I was like, you know, like 18 and I'm walking down the street. I'm like, there's ducks hanging from the windows in Chinatown. And I'm like, why? And then I was like, it just dove into like all the Toronto things. It was great.
It was crazy. And like my second week there, I got a job at a restaurant. Like my second week there, one of the guys that I work with, he's like, oh, let's go out tonight. I just have to drop something off somewhere. And we went to like a bathhouse and he had to drop something off to a friend at a
Was
bathhouse.
it drugs?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I could say that. I'm like,
we talk
yeah.
about drugs.
So we like literally like, 3 weeks ago I lived in Melrose, Ontario, and here I am like at a bathhouse at 2 a.m. dropping something off, and I'm just like
Something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
quote unquote something.
was it candy?
It's a Menti B.
Yeah,
no
it was
biggie.
Menti B. Yeah, so that was quite a.
It's a big like
I didn't do well in Toronto. I lasted like 2 months.
Oh, really?
But I moved right to Bloor and Ossington, which I was like walking right out onto Bloor, and I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I think I picked the wrong location.
Right. Yeah, when I moved there, I was the entire time. I was there for 11 years. The entire time I was in Parkdale. So I saw it go from like
Yeah.
nothing.
I remember when Parkdale was like questionable.
Yeah.
Were you there when it was questionable?
It was
Yes.
very questionable and like gnarly. There was, I think there was like a bar called Mitzi's Sister, and there was also like a Greek restaurant, and that was it. And now there's like, $16 tacos and
Yeah.
$7 Americanos. So it's like, it just went like,
Yeah.
So
That's what happens when you start pushing all the stuff out of the downtown.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Goes farther and farther and
Yeah.
farther. So.
And you just cooked your way through Toronto.
Yeah. So I did the 1 year program. Basically, the only reason I did the 1 year program was I was just like, I want to like get the base knowledge, and then I just want to like get out and
Mhm.
do my thing. And like I feel like a lot of things you learn more on the job site rather than, like you learn your basics, but then on the job site, obviously you're there, right? You're going to learn a lot. So worked in a lot of great restaurants in Toronto, Canoe Restaurant, Biff's, which is like a French bistro, Le Select Bistro with a good friend of mine, Albert Ponzo, who's now the chef at the Royal in Picton. He moved to the area years ago, and he's the chef there. Where else? Enoteca Sociale, which you pronounced perfectly earlier.
Did I struggle with pronunciation?
Yeah, no, it's great. It was great. And that was great. And that was sort of like my last job where I realized we had little Leo, like our son. And that's where we sort of realized that like, wait, we could be doing this, hanging out with family, but closer to our family. You know what I mean? So both sides, Aaron and I, both sides of our family are from this area.
That's cool.
So we both moved home.
Where did you guys meet?
We actually went to high school. Both of us went to Quinny. And we always joke. I always joke around about how like, she was a cheerleader and I was on the football team, or like she was on curling and I was like fencing team or whatever, but literally like complete opposite.
So
like,
random.
Yeah. I'm just like, and I got the jacket and the ring, but complete opposite. She was like the sports person. And I was, I think like cake decorating class.
Nice.
And so we kind of like, we were like acquaintances. Like we had like the kind of same friend circle, but then we, in Toronto one night, actually, I got off work. We went to a bar to have a couple drinks, and she was going to in Oakville. What's that? Sheridan. She was taking textile design in Sheridan, and she was like, her friends. She's like, let's go to this bar tonight in Toronto. And we were just like, I'm like, didn't I go to high school with you? And I was like, yeah, want to come to my house and have some cocktails? And we were just like, and then we just started dating. Moved in with each other, traveled to Europe for like 3 months.
Oh,
and
so cute.
I love this.
Yeah. And then
And my
moved.
goal is like to be her best friend.
She looks like a boss.
she's a good friend.
I
should be
just
like-
looked at her on Instagram.
We totally like fangirled about you both with Sam Foley.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Sam's awesome. Aaron's great, and it's like she's just, I think like obviously like with most women, like you guys are just so organized. She's so smart. She's so gracious. Like she just blows my mind. I think like men go from like, 0 to 100. There's no like,
There's no stopping.
the kids just will like leave a dirty sock on the floor, and I'm just like, that's it. I'm moving out. Whereas Aaron's like, no, you got to teach them like where the sock goes, or like maybe how to put it. Women are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what did you ask?
Don't remember.
Restaurants. Yeah. Restaurants. That's
Tangents.
And then you moved back here.
Yeah. So we decided, we're like, hey, we got this cute little baby Leo. We could literally just be like taking him for walks and playing in parks closer to our parents. So we moved home, and I got a job at Pomodoro in Wellington, as you mentioned earlier. and worked there for a little bit, opened up the Drake Devonshire and had a daughter, little Audrey. So nice little family. And I stayed at the Devonshire for a bit. And after things got a little crazy there, just with like, family life, chef life, left that spot, took a couple months off to like sort of like regroup and just like, what am I going to do? And then we started Eat with Matt DeMille, which started as like in-house cooking lessons, like small, like 8 to 12 people cooking lessons. And then it's slowly grown to like private chefing, consultations, or consulting, and large scale events as well. So
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's good.
And during
It's
the
fun.
pandemic, you did like those little like take-home boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask, how did COVID affect?
COVID was crazy. I mean, I think with everyone, COVID was scary. Like literally within a couple of days, like our entire year canceled or deferred. Everyone like freaked out, and everyone was just like, and yeah, everyone freaked out.
That was a great phase.
Yeah, that was good. That's exactly what happened.
So we, the first couple events that canceled, we were like, here's your money. And then we're like, wait, this isn't smart. We should try and defer as much as possible, or else our bank account's going to be empty. So we deferred as much as possible to like next year or the next year. Like there's a wedding that we did this year that literally it was like the fourth year, like or third or fourth year deferred because COVID just kept like, no.
Oh my God.
So
I feel bad for those people.
I know. Yeah. We pivoted super quick. We were like, okay, well, we have bills to pay. So we did home delivered meals. We sort of took the fact that people were like freaked out of going outside, scared to go to the grocery store. And we provided meals, like comfort food meals to people for a low price point at a big portion. So like you got it a couple times, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
It would feed like 6 people. And it was like, I think with tax, it was like $87. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we would deliver it like, we didn't set any boundaries. Like we would deliver it to your house and just text you. So there was like not even any, because people were even like, we would drop it on their doorstep and people would like open their curtain and be like, wow, and they're just like, what do you want? And I'm just like, here's your food. And they're like, leave it at the door. And they just like push a little like toonie out the rip in their screen. They're like,
go away.
Yeah. And no, but like people were freaked. So we would just drop off their food, text them, here you go. And they would just e-transfer. And it worked out really good. Like we would usually like cap it at like 40 orders per week. And we would like sell out in a couple hours, which was great. And we always had like the winners, like whenever we would do lasagna, sold out.
Oh,
and then whenever we would do like pulled pork, sold out.
It's the things people don't want to make themselves.
Totally.
I feel like it's
I never want to make lasagna ever.
It's a lot.
There's never a day that I want to make it.
It's a long process.
So yummy.
It's so good. And I always knew, I started to learn like what would click with people in a meal package. Like so I would always like have like pulled pork sandwiches with Chipotle ranch. Or I would do like taco kit with Chipotle ranch. And people are just like, they're like, they would see that word and they're just like, order
Chipotle
2,
ranch.
babe. Yeah.
Let's get 2 of those.
Yeah. I'm just like,
4. I know.
Yeah.
Although ranch is like the worst condiment.
It is tasty or like
just no between it's between ranch and ketchup. I can't.
Really? What's your dippy? What's your go-to
just
dippy?
Mayo.
Yeah.
Really?
I was
Straight
gonna say,
up,
I could
like
honestly spoon mayo into my mouth.
QP mayo.
You know what? It's crazy. Other than spicy mayo, I've never had QP before in my life.
You can get it at the Food Basics.
Okay.
What's QP mayo? What is that?
From Japan. It's like a Japanese mayo.
Oh, I know what you're
and it has like
talking
the
about.
cute
I've never
little
bought it. It has
baby.
the cute
People
little,
get it tattooed all the time.
Yeah.
Should I get that tattooed on me? Maybe.
It's great.
Yeah. So where were we with? Oh yeah. So that was
Whoever
COVID.
knows.
COVID was meal kits, popular. It was great, but we didn't set any boundaries. So we were literally driving, like in one day we would go from like Sterling to like Trenton, and then I'd have to drive out to Milford and then Napanee.
Oh my God.
I'd be gone for like 6 hours.
I farmed with my partner, and during COVID, we started doing a meat delivery.
Cool.
And we came to Belleville because my family's here. We were in Peterborough, and I would be driving like Sterling, Belleville, Trenton, Milford, which is so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we weren't charging delivery because I was like, people are just like struggling right now.
Yeah.
So.
And same with you. You're like, let's just get this. Yeah. Let's just do what we need to do for now. Who cares about delivery?
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And I think with COVID, like I hate to say, like obviously it was like a super sucky couple of years, but I think it really showed a lot of people and a lot of companies what could be done without, like look at Shopify. You know, I did a dinner a few months ago for Shopify, and they were just like, we have no offices anymore.
Yeah.
We all work from home. And I'm like, yeah, like why do you need to go? Well, you guys, that's what you guys did, right? You guys just like did it from home, and not like this sort of like human interaction is amazing. Like, you know what I mean? And it's sort of, it makes it personal, that personal interaction. But it showed a lot of people like what could be done. Like I have a buddy that was doing, he just like hung his logo in his basement, got a halo light and started doing like martial art videos. How-tos.
That's amazing.
Not just like, he wasn't just like punching, kicking the air. He was doing like how-to videos from his basement. And he was charging like, you know, $20 a video, $20 a person or something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love the things people came up with during COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're going to sell that. Love it.
I always thought it'd be cool if you posted like how-to videos about stuff you don't know how, like a plumbing video or like a hot yoga video, but it's
don't tell me that because I'm going to do it now.
Yeah. You're just like, here's how to install a ceiling fan.
No idea.
But it's your first time.
I did a lot of YouTubing how to do electrical work during COVID. Would not recommend.
I know.
I bought a condo and renovated it. And had a baby.
No
you
big
did
deal.
have a baby.
I was on parental leave. Like literally, Lincoln was born in February and everything shut down in March.
Oh
because I came in to cover her mat leave.
Really?
Yeah.
She's adorable, by the way. Like Lincoln is just
a little angel baby.
I know. I've been following. It's so funny how we all follow each other's lives now. Like I know. Like I've seen that baby grow from social media. You know,
it's weird. I know a lot about people, and that's the best part about this podcast is I'm like, I'm gonna talk to you about you.
Yeah.
And we've never met.
Yeah.
I know so much about you, but like I don't actually know you.
Exactly.
Kind of
it's
fun,
funny.
Creepy. I like it. What was your favorite food as a child? How'd you get into food? Why are you a foodie? Tell us all.
It's kind of like the sort of like old story, but my mom like always had like a home cooked meal on the table. Always, like every night of the week. I mean, obviously we'd get like takeout sometimes as a treat, but like doesn't matter like how many hours she worked, what was happening in her life. She always had like a nice meal on the table, which was great. And I just loved being in the kitchen. I loved like watching her cook or like helping her cook or chopping things, and like eating is just like the best anyway. So it's my favorite hobby. It's my favorite hobby. So I just sort of like tried everything along the way. Growing up, I worked at Blockbuster. I worked at Auto Systems. I worked for a landscaping company, and each one was like cool, but it always kind of came back to like cook. I would always put like the Food Network on, or I'd always like grab something from the grocery store and like try it out. So after trying many, many different things, I was just like, I'm just going to get into cooking. And I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, you know, you're going to be working Valentine's Day. You're going to be working Mother's Day. But I walked that path to get like where I am now. Now it's like, I take Mother's Day off now. Take New Year's Eve off now. You know what I mean? It's like,
you're up here now.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, exactly. You know, and I think, a lot of people do get frustrated at those things, but you know, and I think the day and age we live in too, it's like when I was coming up, it was like, you could like cater, or you could work on a cruise ship or in a hotel or have a restaurant. That's it. But now it's like, man, you like have a TikTok. You could have you know what I mean? There's so much to do now as well that you don't have to do the crappy stuff. Not that was crappy, but you know,
just watch like random people make food on TikTok. It's so satisfying.
I follow this one girl, and I don't know her name, but she basically just cooks in her kitchen. But the whole thing is that she calls it Only Pans.
Oh,
and it's all like suggestive jokes while she's cooking.
Right.
It's really clever, and
like the simplest idea, you know, like
it's clever, and like everything she makes is like super like easy, but it looks great. Like she made gnocchi the other day.
Right.
Like I'm just kind of like that. You made it look easy. Like I can do that.
That's the cool thing about now. It's just like people like home cooks are just as good, if not better cooks than us chefs now. Straight up. And people like, if you go to the bookstore now, the books that are like on the front table are like food bloggers, mom bloggers. Like before it was like, you know, Thomas Keller and Tom Colicchio and like all these new, you know, chefs like with cookbooks like this thick. But now it's like women who have like, and men who have taught themselves, and they've put it, and it's like, I think that's pretty cool how like people are
super cool.
And I think because we're exposed to much more now, not only cooking techniques, but ingredients as well. Like I can go to No Frills now and get rapini.
Oh yeah.
I know. Okay. Like there's a whole section now. I don't even know if they've changed it because I don't go to grocery stores anymore. I get everything delivered. I'm just no, I just don't have time.
Right.
But like the No Frills, like quote unquote international section is like sick.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And Freshco too. Like their internet, it's amazing. And I think they're smart that way because they see the demographic changing slightly in the Bay of Quinte, and they're just like, here, let's have a space for this person, so they don't have to drive to Oshawa or Pickering to get their ingredients. We'll have a corner, we'll have an aisle for them.
Yeah,
Well,
I remember growing up in Quinte, like when I was craving, like Thai food or Indian food, trying to find it was a mission.
Yeah.
So, you'd go to a bigger city and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to eat good. But now we have that.
It is. And I think it's only going to get better because I think with people, of different ethnicities moving to Belleville, you're going to see, some are going to open restaurants, and that's going to be great, or do pop-ups. You asked what my favorite food was growing up, and still to this day is like taco, like Old El Paso, like taco night, like Taco Kit, and I think, I can't remember.
Hard shell or soft shell?
Oh, hard shell.
Oh.
And my record, I think my record's up to 16 now. Like Aaron has to buy 2 boxes of shells.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that nuts?
Like should we do like a taco night fundraiser? This sounds like a thing I just came up with.
Or we should have brought some today.
Yeah.
We could just and you guys could watch me how many.
Just watch me discuss.
Yeah. Because you want some, you're like, no, we're actually pretty grossed out. It's 10
I would be like, I also want 16 tacos.
So I'm up to 16. I don't know what it is, but like when it's that one thing that like when it's in the house, I just, my vision goes blurry and I'm just like,
you black out,
I get so excited. It's a lot of work because, you want all the little like,
all the thing,
oh yeah. It's like a nostalgia thing.
I wish they made bigger shells though. Cause like the Old El Paso shells are like, it's like literally 3 bites. Maybe that's why I can eat 16, but I would like a shell like this. Like an
maybe
XL
that's
shell?
your next
XL shell. Yeah.
Your next adventure is
Old El Paso. Listen to us. We need an XXL
Old El
shell.
Paso. If you're listening, Old El Paso, Mr. Old El Paso.
We're going to tag them in this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're out of. They probably remote now. But
and since we said your name 3 times, maybe hook us up with a little
$500. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was hoping for some reason you were going to say craft dinner with hot dogs in it. Don't know why. Also delicious.
Have you guys had the new Cheetos mac and cheese?
I have.
Is it good?
All of them.
It's crazy.
It's like
putting it on my list.
surprisingly good.
Yeah. It is like imagine craft dinner, but you added a whole block of cheddar cheese and a bottle of glue. Like imagine. It's like
I do love eating glue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got stressed.
Can I leave the cheese out and just add the glue?
Like the perfect description of it.
It is like
I wasn't expecting the glue.
It's like a mac and cheese, but the most like they're like, let's make it gluey, and people are just like, yum, and they're like, oh, weird.
Honestly,
okay.
I like
Keep
that.
making
I kind of love it. And I know it's disgusting.
Don't. It's so good.
I love making cheese sauce because I love dipping things in cheese sauce, and now I'm just throwing craft singles in it. I'm like, give me that weird plastic texture.
Well, so that's a little trick. So a couple tricks with your craft dinner is finishing it with a slice.
Really?
With a craft single slice. Or you ready for this one?
No. Glue?
No. Do you have glue? Like sparkly glue? You're just like, I'm cleaning my teeth at the same time. Yeah. Some LOL dolls. No, you gotta add, okay, ready? 1 box craft dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a second box. You take the cheese packet from the second box and add it to the first box. So in 1 box of craft dinner, you have 2 cheese packets.
What do you do with the other noodles?
Whatever.
Okay, garbage.
It's macaroni. Just put it in the...
Yeah.
Feed
So
it
2
to your
packets.
dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, so fun fact. You can buy literally just the jugs of the cheese.
At Costco.
Oh,
or even just like the grocery store.
Oh, really?
Like,
I
Or
didn't
if you
know
go to
that.
Bulk
the shaker
Barn,
stuff.
The shaker stuff.
Oh.
And you can buy the cheese at Bulk Barn.
Put it on popcorn.
Yeah.
That'd
That's
be
what I
good.
do.
That's delicious. I actually can't take 100% credit for the 2 cheese packets, 1 box move because you know who did that was hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but what's it? Dahlia May? What's her name?
Oh, Melanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that she's like this like flower superstar.
I mean, both.
Yeah.
And like crushing it. Like she's like just on another level.
We need to have her on.
Yeah. She's
That's a
amazing.
really good, I'm adding her to the wish list.
I love that she'll just be like, she'll have all these stories and she'll be like, today was crazy, beautiful flowers. I worked 16 hours. And then they'll just be like Jim's Pizza, you know? And I'm just like, I love the, or like Tim Hortons, you know? And I'm just like, I love that you're like this superstar, like someone amazingly representing our region. And then you just go to like Jim's or like Tommaso's for dinner.
Yeah.
You know,
Which are wonderful places.
Wonderful. Good job, Tommaso's.
I need to go there again.
That's $500 from YouTube. Tacos.
Yeah.
Tommaso's?
Start serving
Is
tacos.
that how this happens now? We just say names and people give us.
Yeah.
Let's hope for the best.
Can you?
Sorry, Tommaso's, I love you. don't always have
Can
anything.
you tell us about Stoney Lonesome? Because, okay, I did hear about this, and then I was talking to a McKinney,
Okay.
and they were like, my brother's in this show, Stoney Lonesome. And then I'm looking up you, and you're in Stoney Lonesome. And then a girl I went to high school with, Simmy's in it.
Simmy.
And I'm just like, what is this show?
It's crazy. It's so crazy. So Stoney Lonesome, the whole premise is like basically like every town has a Stoney, as it says in the intro, like every town has a Stoney Lonesome, or in the trailer, I should say. Every town has a Stoney Lonesome. It's kind of like the wrong side of the tracks, the kind of like rough part of town. And actually Belleville had or has a Stony Lonesome. It's like, kind of like behind St. Teresa's, that sort of like little neighborhood near the industrial park. So it's kind of like, it's sketch comedy. It's short, little sketches. Each episode is 6 minutes long. There's 10 episodes in a season. So it's like an hour. Yeah. We just finished filming season 2. We finished and handed in a Christmas special. And it's just like little small town quips that, we do every day, I feel like. But when you step back and look at it, it's like, that's so funny. And when you're watching people like do it, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? And there's characters, there's like Daryl and there's Tammy, and it's like a cast of like 6 people, but they all play different parts. I play Matt.
Do you play yourself?
I just play myself, and I'm which is great for me because it's like super straightforward, but it's super cool. It's kind of funny because I've pitched numerous cooking shows in my life. I've been like, let's do this. I want to try this. And how about this? Nothing's ever been picked up. And then it's like, how about a show where you play a goofball in a small town? I'm like, how did that, like, you know what I mean? Like
of all the things that stuck.
Who came up with it? Who came up with it?
So it's Kelly McKinney and Victor Cooper. They have a company called 80/20 Studio, which is downtown.
Sorry, I'm trying to like put things together because I think I've emailed him about doing video for us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Victor.
Yeah,
he's
like
everywhere. Like they do such great work, and the crew, man, I can't say enough. Like the crew that's on it is such a tight, like motley crew of people, like so random that it just works so well. And we have these and everyone just chirps at everyone. It's so funny.
That's the best.
I watched it. I was like, I want to be on this show.
It is.
It looks so great.
It's so funny. And when you're on set, it's just so hilarious. And I think that's the reason why it works out so well, is because everyone believes in it so much. You know what I mean? Like if I went to do like a cat litter a commercial for cat litter, then I'd be like, try new, but it's like, maybe I'm stuck under a truck and my buddy Daryl's trying to get me. You know what I mean? Like the skit. Then it's like everyone's staying behind the camera being like, he's going to say, they're like, it's like everyone thinks it's funny. So it's like, it works. You know what I mean? So I love it. It's hilarious.
Where can people watch it?
Right now, it's on Bell Fibe.
Okay.
Right. So season 1's on Bell Fibe. Christmas special will come out on Bell Fibe. Season 2 will be on Bell Fibe. But in the future, we'll see.
I like that energy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Keep the people guessing.
I can't give too much. Yeah.
Now we have to get Kelly McKinney in here.
Yeah.
Now I need to get Bell Fibe.
I think I have it. You can come over to my house. My parents have it. I live there right now.
Have some double mac and cheese.
John would let me not move out if I made double mac and cheese. So I tell you something, I think I'll be making that.
Yeah. So Stoney Lonesome, everyone, check it out. It's pretty funny.
We'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah, I'm putting that. I watched the trailer last night like 3 times.
Did you?
It gives me Letterkenny vibe.
So.
And I don't know if that's offensive.
That's how we. No.
Oh,
that's how we explain it to people. It's like Letterkenny mixed with Schitt's Creek
in Belleville.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. It's like,
okay, that's like my vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
It's super funny, and you're just like, there's parts where you're just like, oh my gosh, I've done that, or oh my gosh, I have no coworker who's done that. It's
and
like,
even being from a small town and watching Letterkenny and Schitt's Creek, and when I was at university, like 2 of my roommates were from Hamilton, city people, and then I was from Belleville, and my one friend was from Sydenham, which is like north of Kingston.
Yeah.
And we'd get talking, and they'd be like, why do you guys have accents? And we were like, we don't have accents. And they're like, no, you have accents. And it's because I find when I start to talk to someone else who is from a small town, we just get lazy and our words are just
Totally.
It's great.
It's crazy. Like earlier I mentioned like Aaron, how we kind of met in like our little journey. But when we traveled through Europe, we stayed in a hostel in Brussels. And there was these two, I think they're brothers or best friends. There's these two guys from Ireland. And Aaron and I were like, we stayed in a communal hostel, which was super creepy. It was just a giant room, like, and on the outside there was like 8 bunk beds.
Yeah.
And there's these two guys from Ireland, and they're like, I'm not going to do an Irish accent, but they were like, you guys sound like the Trailer Park Boys. And they were like, I looked at her and I'm like, that's how we sound to other people. Like we sound how we sound to each other because we're from the same spot. But to people that far around the world, we sound like the Trailer Park Boys.
That's a good Irish accent.
That was really good.
That kind of sounded like East Coast a little bit, though, I find.
It was good. I liked it.
Thank you.
My friend lived in St. John's for a bit.
Yeah.
And I flew in and like taxi driver was like, me ducky. And I was like, I'm going to marry you, you creepy 75-year-old man.
Yeah. You guys kept in touch?
Men, but I like you.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Just the accent.
Yeah, no, an accent can get me.
So yeah, to Stoney Lonesome.
Stoney Lonesome.
Lots of fun.
Check it out, everyone. We're linking it in our show notes. We have a bunch of questions, but I want to jump in because on your Instagram, like Matt DeMille, and then there's Matt's Hot Maple, Matt's Chicken, Northern Park. What are all these?
Right.
Tell us more.
Matt DeMille is just kind of like my like rough. It's so funny because I feel like so many people work. What am I trying to say? Like when you work on their Instagram. What's the word? Like they make curate. That's exactly the word I was trying to. A lot of people curate their Instagram so much, and I feel like I missed the boat on that largely. Like my Instagram just like if you look at it, it looks like it's just a mess. You know what I mean? So I kind of just keep my personal Instagram just like whatever. You know what I mean? And there's like some funny stuff on there, and there's some business stuff on there, and that's it. Eat with Matt DeMille. That's of course our catering thing. So I'll put like new dishes up there. If I'm like doing a pop-up or something, I'll keep that over there. Matt's Crispy Delicious Chicken. That was
very crispy and delicious.
Yeah, it was. So I did a fried chicken pop-up a few years ago at 100 Acre Wood.
That's where my brother got married.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Beautiful spot.
So pretty.
Yeah. Shout out to Mary and Kevin. They are.
Mary is a gem of a human.
She's a gem.
I want to have her on too. Put it on the wish list.
Mary, get Mary on.
She was just so like, side tangent. She was like, walk down the aisle now. I was like, yes. Okay.
You gotta be. Yeah. You have to be at these events, because they're so huge and crazy.
And she's so nice.
She's so nice. And Kevin is like it's funny because like I've helped him out a few times at the venue on like special events. And every time I go there, I leave his place feeling so like remotivated and like into food again, because, like when you're by yourself doing your own thing, you can read cookbooks and stuff, but it's like when you go see what someone else is doing, or he's like doing these cool pickles, or I would always leave excited, like hanging out with him because he's like a sick chef. So
those are the best kind of people to have in your life.
Have them both in.
Yeah, have them both in. And they have little Clementine, little clam.
That is the cutest name ever.
I know. She's so cute. Crispy Delicious Chicken. Yeah, no, all good. I'm the worst for going off track.
Good.
So
you fit in well here.
I'm following you. And then, Matt's Crispy Delicious Chicken pop-up. And I wanted to like, it was, I feel like right at the start of COVID, Matt's Crispy Delicious Chicken, the pop-up. And there was, I wanted to go hard with it. I was like, I want to have like at least once a month, have like a fried chicken pop-up. But COVID made it so difficult. Like my second one was going to be at Capers, and it was like, okay, well, we need to like put the stickers on the floor and have the face shields and have the plastic. And I was like, man, for like, to sell like 40 fried chicken sandwiches, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not,
I'm okay,
Do you think you'll do it again? Like
at some point, it's a pretty big passion. Like I think, like a lot of chefs go through like passion projects, like, the perfect pizza crust or the perfect ramen noodles, or this like fried chicken for me is like, I'm so passionate about it. Like yesterday I was in like Foodland in Picton, and they had just put out like this big pan of fried chicken. And I'm just like, I would like, I usually would never buy hot food from a grocery store, but that I was like, I would buy fried chicken. Yeah.
I just started eating chicken again. I have
Really?
a weird relationship with it. Chickens are disgusting. But
Yeah.
Love eating
Weird
them
animals.
now. Weird animals will peck you.
Yeah.
And try and
with their face. Like literally they hit you with their face.
Yeah, I worked at a farm and this rooster, Rocky, would attack the shit out of me. I'd have to go in with a stick, like ready.
They're so aggressive. Yeah.
I want chickens in my backyard
No,
so
you don't.
bad.
They're gonna
Aw.
Because they have personality.
They'll eat you.
They're like little. They do, and they're very smart. I never realized how smart little chickens are, and delicious.
So delicious.
It was my
Crispy
number one
delicious.
pregnancy craving.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Like I could eat it every day, and I was like, just all of it.
I always said to myself, if a Popeyes chicken ever comes to Belleville, I'm going to be there every day. Because I would drive to Kingston just for Popeyes. Popeyes is amazing.
Now I have to go try Popeyes.
You've
never had Popeyes?
I've never had Popeyes.
Holy shit,
It's good.
Katie.
For me, it goes so. And also, you guys have been to what is it, Golden Chicken in Trenton?
No.
What?
So now we have to add. We
show's
have a
over.
road trip. We'll put it on our road trip list.
Golden Chicken and Ribs
I've
in
heard of
Trenton.
I've never heard of this.
They have these like. It's delicious, and they even sell like day old like cold fried chicken just like in a milk bag for like $3.
Love it.
And I'm just like, that's amazing. They just pick it down and like
just use it for something else.
And go in there, and they even have like, you remember when you used to go into like Mary Brown's and they'd be like 2-piece dinner into like a microphone, 2-piece
They
dinner.
do that.
And in the back they're just they have like the microphone, and you can get these little, I feel like they're like $2 or like $2.50. They have these little tiny sandwiches on this soft little white bun, and it's like a piece of little fried chicken, little bit of lettuce and mayo, and that's it. And that's like, you get like
That's
3
all
of
you need.
those and like a crushed grape, and you're like, it's good. And Nova Deli's right next door. So you're like,
Also, I've never been.
Nova Deli? What? Oh my God.
I think we're gonna do like
There's honestly,
food
I should have
road
brought
trip.
food with me. I guess it's
You're
kind of
gonna
early
have
now.
to come back. So
Yeah, we'll do
I'll
part
eat
2.
fried chicken at like 9 a.m. I honestly.
Fried chicken's
at this
really good.
point.
So that was sort of like one of my passion. Like for a while there, I was just like fried chicken. And if I had the time, maybe it'll happen someday, but like a little fried chicken restaurant would be. I have like 6 concepts that would like just rip in Belleville. You know what I
Do
mean?
them all.
And then
Right
like
now.
I could see that.
second
Yeah.
in Trenton, second in Deserano,
Yeah.
second in Napanee. You know what I mean? Or in Napanee. But that's fried chicken. Eat with Matt DeMille. We talked about that. Northern Bark Barbecue. That's sort of like, so I'm a brand ambassador for Traeger. Yeah,
That is
like-
freaking cool.
That's-
Yeah, so I signed up with them like years ago, and I work with Traeger, and we went on. They had Traeger Summit. I guess last year. Was it earlier this year? I can't remember.
Mm.
I feel like it was in May. Anyways, I'm horrible with time. Like I don't even know what happened
It's
yesterday.
not even real.
Yeah, time's
Time's
unreal. So I went to this Traeger Summit. They had all of like the Traeger ambassadors to Utah for like a 3-day party because they were launching this new oven, this new barbecue. And yeah, it was great. So we went like snowboarding, and we went to like this trampoline park, and we went like paintballing, and
You're
it's just-
Traeger.
yeah,
I am
Traeger.
not.
We said it.
Traeger.
We said it.
500.
and it's a cool, very, very, very cool company to work with. Like usually I'm not like super aligned with that whole like, like cold plunging, like bow hunting, like jujitsu sort of like lifestyle, but like the smoker thing is cool.
Yeah,
Like I'm like,
I respect a smoker. Do I get how to do it? No. But
No.
I like the idea.
oh, I'm the
of it.
worst at it. I'll put like a piece of meat on, and like 12 hours later, I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Feels
It's fine.
done.
It looks
just-
smoky. Yeah. So, where was I going with that? Yeah. So Northern Bark Barbecue, I was like, I would love to start. You know what? I'm just going to like post BBQ pics here. If that turns into
BBQ
something.
is hot. Full
It is.
frontal barbecue pick.
Do you guys like barbecue?
Love
Yeah.
barbecue.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it's like,
I'm not good at it.
I love barbecue, but I feel like it doesn't like, this
Like
is going to
you.
probably like get a lot of hate mail, this comment, but like, I just feel like it doesn't differ a lot. Like like if I went to like Jimmy's barbecue there, and if I went to like Timmy's barbecue over there,
Yeah.
like I'm just like, okay,
Generally
this guy,
speaking, you know what you're gonna get.
yeah. And
Here's
if
the
this,
thing too. I like smoking.
yeah,
This is probably not what it's called, but I like a wet barbecue.
yeah.
Like I like like my pulled
You just
pork saucy
pour
and
some
like
root beer on it.
I make pulled pork and I pour a bunch of beer on it, and then it's like
you want it, because sometimes
I like it moist.
I find that too. Like sometimes it's dry.
It moist.
You know, the sausages. Do you like how I just glazed over that comment? Just keep on talking. Just keep on talking. Yeah.
Nope.
Yes, I get what you mean. But barbecue, it's a fad. But it's still going on. So
I'm always in my head. I'm always like, what's going to be next? Because food trends crack me up sometimes. Like
butterboards.
But I was just gonna go there. But it's funny how food trends hit here as well, which is totally understandable. This is a smaller town, different demographic, but like the things that are hot here now were hot like 3 or 4 years ago.
Everyone is doing charcuterie boards right now.
Charcuterie or like the smash burgers, and like no disrespect.
Still love
I don't know what a smash burger is.
Oh, it's so good.
You don't know what a smash burger is?
It's like crispy on the outside. Oh,
it's a burger. So like it's a burger that like, most times you think of a burger, you put on your barbecue mustard. A smash burger is like done on a hot griddle, and you smash it like paper thin.
Oh, okay.
So it gets like crispy. Have you guys been to Five Guys in Kingston?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a smash burger.
Went. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think the unnamed
food truck.
Unnamed food.
He does a
truck.
smashy. So does shout out to Bergs. Simon. He's doing pop-ups in the county. He just started this year, but he's like a smash burger. Yeah, check it out.
What's his Instagram?
Bergs. He does
Perfect JK.
Yeah, and Roadside was great as well. Mary and Kevin at 100 Acre.
Oh.
That was their little COVID hustle. They did Roadside Burger.
Oh,
They're doing smash burgers.
I have that sticker on my desk.
Do you?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Those were so that was a smash burger. Where was I going with that? The trends. Yeah.
What a cute logo.
Yeah. The trends are crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Because especially if it's someone who knows how to cook, well, relatively knows how to cook myself. But when you see a food trend come along, like it's not even like a technique. Like someone will just like roast cherry tomatoes with feta.
That was a big one.
That was a big one. And then the butter board, and then like all the offshoots of the butter board, like a frosting board or a cream cheese board or a Nutella board.
I've never heard of the frosting board, but I am down.
So the frosting board's literally like you just smear some frosting on a board and then
you dip things in it.
Yeah. And I was trying to think like how I could do like a joke, like how I could do. So I did a butter board. There's a company in Montreal that I work with, Taco Board, a craft dinner board.
Put some hot dogs.
Old El Paso board.
Yeah, there's a bread company that I work with in Montreal, and they asked me to do. We decided to do a butter board together, and it just like blew up. It was like 260 likes, and I'm like, because I smeared butter on a board, and the actual thought of it, like and then you garnish it, right?
Yeah.
So I put like pumpkin seeds on it, and I put like roasted squash. I think I did like chives.
Yummy.
But then the actual thought of like you take the bread and you just like drag it through the butter, and you're like, now I have
so much
butter, a quarter cup of butter.
Like I'm just like I'm down. Like I'm going to get a little bit stoned and like have a butter board, and like I would be so happy.
I prefer like a cream cheese board.
Cream cheese. Yeah, like what else could you do? You could do like a nacho cheese board,
don't get me going on
or you could do it on different boards, like flip a skateboard over and do like
would be like
just plywood. Look what I got. I finished.
If I ever get married, which I'm never gonna do, I'm gonna have butter boards on skateboards.
I like it.
On skateboards. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a little bit punk rock, but it's
like flipped over.
Yeah.
Or even just like a piece of drywall, like a piece of like sheet metal from like construction boards.
It's just so sandy. Thinking of drywall.
Wood pallets. Yeah.
It's just rusty, different flat surfaces.
Yeah, it's just flat surfaces. Yeah. So that's food trends are weird. I don't know. They're like, I mean, nothing beats, and it goes back to like our conversation earlier about like everything now is like so curated.
Yeah.
Everything now is such an exaggerated version of itself.
Oh yeah.
Did you know what I mean? Like everything.
This podcast is an exaggerated version of me.
No.
But I think we keep it real.
You guys keep it real.
No,
I didn't.
Yes, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm just so like I'm not very social. I kind of just like homebody stuff, and it's like this is like. I get to meet all these really cool people and like have really cool conversations. And then we can cut this part out, please.
Never.
No,
I'm just like
I keep your
I like that you're opening up to us.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
That's great. No, but it's like, we're just having a conversation. You know what I mean? I think I think it's kind of funny to me that podcasts took so long to blow up, because people have been talking on radio forever.
Ever.
But all of a sudden people are just like, let's talk about, I don't know, like jujitsu on a podcast, or let's talk about anything.
I listened to another podcast where they literally just tell me about Law and Order SVU episodes. They just tell me about the Law and Order episode. And I'm like, great, I don't have time to watch right now, but I can listen to you recap an SVU episode for me.
Yeah. And it's interesting. And for the longest time, I tried to push like true crime stuff out of my life.
No.
But like, I'll be like working on my computer and like my beautiful wife will be listening to like, you know, someone who disappeared and they found her bones like in the kitchen. And I'm just like, this is so dumb. And then 10 seconds later, it's like, and then guess what they found in the closet? And I'm like, what? They found her bones? Like, you know, and I'm just like, it's riveting. You know what I mean?
Have you watched Only Murders in the Building?
Oh, I need to watch.
No.
Oh my God.
I haven't.
It's like Selena Gomez, old dudes that are famous and are really, really funny.
Don't even say that. It's Steve Martin, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know the other guy's name.
Old dudes that are funny. You're like,
They are
hang
funny.
on. Yeah, I'm not in that show.
It's about people who love true crime podcasts,
right?
Who end up living in a true crime podcast, and they podcast about the true crime that's happening.
Okay.
That's a really terrible description, but it's a fantastic show.
I think sometimes that maybe people are taking things too far, because like if you're talking about the thing, it's like, you know, you're giving people, it's like in the movie Seven, you know, like you're watching the movie Seven. I'm like, if someone's actually, if a murderer is actually watching this, then he's just like taking notes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm listening to, I'm like, hey, don't put it in the closet, you know, just like rake the footsteps. Like you gotta.
So have you thought about this a lot?
No. Can we edit that part out?
I'm just kidding.
No, never.
Yeah. If we're going to edit out Kay's opening up, can we edit out my raking the footsteps tip?
Murder?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Sorry, you have one more thing we missed. Matt's Hot
Maple. Yeah. So that was a COVID side hustle. When I worked at the Drake Devonshire, we had fried chicken and waffles on the brunch menu.
Yes.
That was my favorite.
It was very
My
good,
mom
very
loved
popular.
that.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. And anyways, we would take maple syrup and we would infuse it with, I'm not going to give the whole recipe away because we'll have like Kay's hot maple and
We'll beep
Rick's
it
hot
out.
maple. Yeah.
We'll beep it.
He's swearing so much. So we would infuse it with like spicy stuff and herbs. And before we would put the fried chicken on top of the waffle, we would toss the fried chicken in this spicy maple syrup. And actually, side note, we would also put green onions and grilled corn in the waffle batter. So you had this like grilled corn and green onion waffle, and then on top the fried chicken. Yeah, it's good.
I didn't eat breakfast, so I'm like
I should have brought you something.
Next
I know.
time.
It's 11.
We
I
have
can go
you
for lunch.
back.
So the hot maple, so I was just like, how can I, add something else to my list? What else can I do? But I researched it, found the bottles, found out how I would have to safely bottle them, and then launched it. And it's funny because there's like so many hot honey companies out there. Excuse me. And there's barely any, like I researched, there's like one or two like hot maple companies. Yeah. Which is funny to me because that's vegan, you would think like people would want that more because it's vegan, but launched it and so many people supported me and carried it because there was with COVID, there was like a lot of like little, what am I trying to say? Like people set up like little stores, like in the restaurant, they would set up like a little bodega, sell wine. And so with all these like little bodegas being set up, well, the hot maple got picked up by a lot of like friends from around the area. And I sort of had to pause it in the summer because like summertime is crazy for us with catering and everything. And of course the kids being off of school. So I paused it. But I think once we get into a little later in the fall, I'm going to relaunch it. And I'd love to find a co-packer because getting the maple, infusing the maple, straining the maple, bottling the maple, labeling the maple, packing the maple. It's a lot. I
don't know how you guys do it.
It's great. Honestly, like, just a good support system. Like if there's one thing that I could say is if you have a good support system, like in your home and around you outside your home, then like, man, you can do anything. Like Aaron you know, every crazy idea that comes up, Erin's just like, and then I'll be like, yeah, but this, and this. And she's like, okay, you know, like if you have a good support, like, you know, and she'll like, but it's a two-way street, right? Like she's like, oh, I want to go like have a coffee with my friends, or I want to go like go to this market, or I want, you know what I mean? I'm there, like I'm there because you were there for me when I was gone to like pick up maple or find maple, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. Like if you have that like proper support, which I know some people don't, but like if you have a good support system, then it's like you go for it, you know, like crush it. Yeah.
Do you find the like county food scene and just local people are really supportive of each other?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like it's funny because you don't see a lot of, well, I think in the summertime, you don't see a lot of like chefs or restaurateurs out and about because I think they're so busy, but I am blown away like how far the food scene has come in Prince Edward County. It's like, especially from moving home, like I think we moved home back here like 11 years ago and there was like 2 restaurants in the county. And now the caliber, like just the food, like there's like a Spanish tapas restaurant.
Yeah.
There's like like La Condesa, like Sam, she's like, her tacos are like, it just blows my mind what there is now.
Yeah.
It's
great.
Living here is a destination. People are like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the county.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
and
I'm going to drive
cool. I used to
25
just
minutes.
go get drunk at the hayloft. Like
hot dogs. And you know, what's so funny is like, I was talking about it to someone the other day, with, my chef at the Grange Winery. She was talking about, she sat beside, Elliot and Laura from Bloomfield Public Market, and they used to sell they had a hot dog cart at the hayloft. Like that's where they started.
I freaking love hot dogs.
Yeah.
I love hot dogs.
A good hot dog is so good.
So
you
good.
know, and a bad hot dog is bad.
No,
I still think
I like the,
I
you
like
know when
them
you
all.
like barbecue a hot dog and it gets all like crispy and dehydrated?
yeah.
Like sign me up.
Okay, like bottom to top, super quick, like hot dog. Like you like the boiling water. You go like microwave, or you like a nice charred grilled guy.
I grill it.
Grill it?
I have like a tabletop grill thingy,
Yeah,
and I just like do it on that.
love. Yeah,
Girl, I'd pan fry hot dog. Boiling water, no.
really no.
I did have a friend in elementary school who would bring like a hot dog in a thermos for lunch. I respect
Just
it.
a dog.
Yeah, like they'd have boiling water in the thermos to keep it warm.
Would they drink the water after?
I hope not. I don't know. Maybe she did that in her own time.
Yeah.
I don't
She
wanna
just puts a
see.
peppermint tea bag in it after.
Like, hot dog water.
Calm me down. What were we? The county. Yeah, no, it blows my mind.
dogs.
And I didn't mention to you guys, but yeah, I opened up a food truck this summer.
What?
At the Grange Winery.
Oh,
How did I not know this?
So the Grange Winery, they decided that this year they're like, okay, we want like our food program to be like legit. Let's go with some food. So I was like, okay, awesome. So actually Marliese, the woman who does special events there, Albert's wife from the Royal Buddies, she reached out to me and she's like, would you guys be interested in helping out? I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'll like set you up with a kitchen. I'll set you up with staff, like helping them out. So that's when I found Kira. She moved from Kitchener. She was at Westmount Golf Club in Kitchener. She moved here. Her sister is actually Christine Reed, photographer. So like she's already familiar with this area. And we opened up this super cool food truck. It's more of a trailer, and we built like a beautiful facade on it at the Grange Winery. And then we're actually just about to start construction. We're going to build a kitchen inside. So
Very cool.
Yeah, she's killer. She, I was in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to like be at the winery a lot but Kira, she's just so, she's so on it that like, I think I've been like all summer I was there like twice because I was so busy. Kira's like, yeah, we're good. Yeah. She's just,
I like that.
which I think is like, I don't want to say like a dying breed, but I think it's just like 1 in 10.
It's
you
like
know?
Those kinds of people are like,
oh man.
key.
Yeah. And not like the type of person where like, okay, you guys are set up. I'll be like on my laptop for 6 hours. No, she's like, let's do this. We'll worry about the laptop stuff later. Let's like, so which like leads by example. And that shows everyone.
Like that it's inspiring for the people around you.
Yeah. So yeah, that was also a fun thing. Yeah.
I want to meet
her. I like that saying.
Oh yeah, we snaps a lot. I need to get a button on here. I need them to set me up with a snaps.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Kay has a question about your running and doing triathlon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I just don't know anything about it. And like, Why did you start doing that?
So this is good. I'm glad we're talking about this because it's a huge part of my life. But a couple of years ago, I used to be into boxing, and it was difficult to make the boxing classes because it was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights from like 5 till 6, which as a parent, that's like prime.
Tough.
It's like kid time.
Yeah, that's like, Pocoyo and almost bath time, Pocoyo's a show. Like
I only know about
Paw Patrol
Bluey
movie.
right now. Just learned.
You don't know about more?
No.
So boxing, and I was like, oh man, I'm really finding it hard to get to classes. So I started running, and of course, like the perfect thing about running is like literally you just need a pair of shoes, which you can get at many stores.
Shocking.
I'm like, oh, there's some over there. And you can just head out your door any time of the day. You just head out your door and you can go for 5 minutes. You can go for 15 minutes. You can go for 2 hours, and
have you ran for 2 hours before?
My longest run is 3.5 hours.
Jesus
that
Christ.
hurts my
So
body.
imagine how long it takes you to sit and watch the Titanic. I ran that long. That was a 30K, 30 kilometer run that I did for Ukraine. Yeah.
I wish I could.
You can. You totally can. So that's why I got into that. And it's, I think, a lot of chefs, a lot of people have like addictive personalities. And so I got on that, and and in a lot of good ways, like I'm like addicted to it. You know what I mean?
That's
and
good.
it's just like, so I decided that I'm probably never going to do a full marathon. So there's like a half marathon.
What's a full marathon?
Half marathon is 21 kilometers and a full marathon is 42. So double that. So if I did a full marathon, I'd literally be running for like 5.5 hours.
How? I don't understand.
How do you go to the bathroom?
Do you just
go?
pee?
Yeah, they have like they have there's porta potties.
Oh,
like you like run off the road and like
the
go to
serious
porta potty.
ones just pee.
Just pee. Just go.
It's just pee. It's sterile. You're good.
Yeah.
Just go.
I'm not a runner or a track star.
That's okay. But you have, everyone has their thing. You know what I mean? And that's what I tell like, we used to have, in the past, we've done this like mental health, festival, the food and music festival called Food for Thought. And
that's what you were talking about.
I was talking.
Yeah.
There's a mental health thing somewhere.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called or what it is.
I would just tell people, I'm just like, find your thing. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, like if it's knitting, okay.
Yeah.
If it's boxing, if it's running, if it's, as long as it's healthy, and it's good for you, like just find your thing and put all your money and all your time into it. And so I've ran a couple half marathons, which is 21 kilometers. So that's about 2.5 hours. And I decided that I'm never going to run a full marathon for 42 kilometers. That is, to me, that's a bit much. Maybe I will someday. But I started getting into the idea of triathlons. So the way it progresses is like sort of like what's hardest on your legs and your feet. It goes like that. So it starts with a swim, then it goes into a bike ride, then it goes into a run.
Yeah.
So I did my first triathlon this summer, and that was in Kingston. I love Kingston. Snap out to Kingston.
Yeah,
cool.
No, just snap out to you doing a triathlon.
Yeah, I was like Kingston, cool city. If you're listening, Kingston, we love you.
$500.
Yeah.
City Kingston.
Mr. Kingston, if you're listening. Did my first one this summer in Kingston, and I have one. So speaking of going to like 0 to 100, but my next one is in June of next year, and it's a half Ironman triathlon. So it will be a 2,000 meter swim. So that'll probably be like an hour, like just swimming nonstop. And then it's a 90 kilometer bike ride. So it'll probably be like,
I need to take
I almost died after
the panic and disgust off my
that's
face.
amazing.
I'm like,
yeah, it's crazy, but like you build up to it.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago, like I did a 5 kilometer run and it was like half an hour, and I'm just like, yay. You build up to it. You know what I mean? And you just go to a place where you literally like you're like, there's no way I could do that. Did it.
Do it.
You do it.
You've kind of inspired me. Maybe I'm going to run a 5K.
Do it, sign up for one in the spring.
Yeah. And
just like run 2 or 3 times a week. And then when you're done that, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Maybe I can do a 10K. Like 10K, that's like just over an hour. You know what I mean? You're just running for an hour. But if like if we went for a run right now, we would just chat. Yeah. And before you know it, we'd be done,
So do you just like throw on a podcast or music and just like go?
So I used to, or like an audiobook. I used to like put on an audiobook, but I find that running outside, it's kind of like you can't hear like cars or like like people.
That's fair.
And also I find sometimes if you're listening to music, like it sets your pace. Like if you're listening to like, I don't know, Dance Mix 94, then you're like, you know, like you're like running to the music. And I'm just like, no, I'm supposed to be going faster. I'm supposed to be going slower, you know, with training. And actually I have an amazing training coach. Her name Sandy. She has Try and Run Coaching. Used to be downtown. Yeah. Try and Run Sports. Now it's closed down, but she still does coaching. So having a coach is great, and her pricing is great. And her approach is like, I want you guys to be running when you're like 95. So it's a very like slow burn, and that's
really cool.
Yeah.
That seems healthy.
Yeah. And you need to like, you just need your thing. Like, I feel like with my line of work too, like it's important to like stay in shape. Mm-hmm. Or even just have like something like to get me moving. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So when I first opened the Devonshire, I ate a cheeseburger every day for like 2 months. And I look back on that part of my life to the diet in the kitchen is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like I would drink like 2 liters. We used to mix these drinks like a liter in containers, which you use a lot in the kitchen. Like it's a big plastic container.
Oh, I watched The Bear. I know it's that.
So you know what it is, right? That would be half iced tea and half ginger ale.
Yeah.
A liter. And I would drink probably like 3 of those a day. Probably have like
sugar.
Yeah, it's a lot of sugar. And then I have like probably 4 to 6 espressos every day. Plus a couple cheeseburgers. Yeah. And
not to the same caliber, but I was the window girl at Flossie's for a summer.
Oh, cool. And Kyle, he kills it.
And then my friend, my gay mom Lana, worked the grill.
Yeah.
And we would just chug Diet Cokes.
Right.
And I would just eat bowl fries.
Because your body's just like, help me.
Yeah.
I'm so hot and I need
You're hot. You're
help.
Like I was running the deep fryers. City people are coming at you. And I'm just like, I need Diet Coke right now.
It's so crazy. I love Coke Zero. Like when I want to be naughty little boy, I drink Coke Zero. It's just so like, it just burns your throat.
I don't know. I'm a Diet Coke. Like I have.
Are you?
Yeah.
There's an addiction in this office to Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi.
Oh, it's so good. It like, it hits different. Like somewhere in here, just like burns good.
And then there's different like levels of my addiction. So like the ultimate Diet Coke is from McDonald's because it has the bubble to Coke ratio different than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because it's different from Wendy's. Like, I don't know what they do. Yeah. There's something about it. And then it's an ice cold can of Diet Coke. And then bottle is fine.
Okay.
I'm really surprised by like the whole like sparkling water renaissance.
I fucking love sparkling water.
It's so good, but I'm just like, it's so funny because now it's like, again, like such an exaggerated thing of itself. Now it's like coconut and echinacea. Whereas like, you know, No Name has had sparkling water since
since the dawn of time.
Yeah. But it's just like orange, you know?
And now it's like $8 a case.
Yeah.
No, you gotta get the 2 4s.
I don't know happen to look, I'm going to say it wrong. LaCroix.
Oh,
they just like, I feel like they started it and then now they're gone. But like,
I think they're still in the States. Like,
really?
You can get it at Metro and
Farm Boy. Are we getting a Farm Boy? Are we getting a Farm Boy?
Yeah, we may have started that rumor, to be honest, on one of our episodes.
I don't mean to sound like every person on Belleville Neighbors page.
Our favorite Facebook page.
Are we getting,
Are we getting Farm Boy? I think the Little Texas is supposed to be Farm Boy.
Really?
That's what I heard.
Wait, where's Little Texas going? I need Little Texas.
Oh yeah, Little Texas opening up. One of my favorite things to do ever at night is like put the kids down to bed. I pop myself a nice big bowl of popcorn and I go on the Belleville Neighbors page.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
We're constantly sending, and Emily, who works here, isn't allowed. They don't let her in.
Really?
So we're like sending things. And I'm like, sorry, Emily, you're not allowed to know.
They keep denying her entry.
Why? Because
no idea.
That's so funny.
But we love it.
It'll be like, just heard sirens at Farley and her, or like on Herkimer, everything okay? And then like 621 comments.
There's a fox.
Yeah, there's a fox. Or it'd be like, oh, I just heard someone broke out of Kingston Penitentiary. Maybe it's that. And it's like, no.
No,
or like
I like when people ask for recommendations, and the best one that sticks with me is, where's the best place to get a Brazilian? I'm like, why didn't you Google that?
Yeah. Or like someone who will like, what clinics are open right now? I have this is itchy. And I'm like, maybe like call your mom. Don't like put it on, or someone will just post a picture of like a tire and they're like, someone lose a tire, corner of like, and it's like 621 comments. Yeah. I'm like, how?
Every time.
My favorite was like somebody had posted a photo of like the styrofoam. It was like a piece of styrofoam that was like in their backyard. And they're like, who's going to come clean this up? And everyone's like, you.
You literally,
Literally just pick it up. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
It kills
Facebook
me.
page.
And how people are just like, a lot of it's like helpful, which is great. A lot of it is just like a little mean sometimes.
There's some meanness on there.
But also, I'm going to get like serious for once just during this whole conversation, but it just makes me realize like how there's a lot of like, there's a lot of people in need. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
my gosh. Yeah.
people who are like, hey, I'm literally have nowhere to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
And can anyone, and as a skeptical person, your first thought is just like, okay, whatever. You just want to go buy like a, extra large Starbucks.
Mhm.
Quite frankly, though, if you're homeless and an extra large Starbucks is what's
what
going
you
to do it for you, like,
Sure. Yeah.
have at it.
Yeah.
Like, quite frankly, everyone always rips. They're like, oh, well, they're just going to go buy like weed or whatever with the money you give them. I'm like, they're homeless. Let them get stoned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Because they're not. Yeah. It just blows my mind. Like how, like people are. Yeah. They'll just be like, hey, I need a place to crash tonight, or I need a bed for my baby. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's another kind of like offshoot group. It's called Helping Hands.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you just like, it's like a buy nothing group, and people will post stuff that are like, hey, I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for this. And that's how I get rid of all like Lincoln's baby stuff.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, I have, this garbage bag full of baby clothes.
Yeah.
You can have it. Just take it.
I think we're so lucky, you know what I mean? Because, we do, we get to do like things that are fun and things that we can like pay the bills with. But I think like especially myself, like, I'm not super exposed to it, but I think there's like people out there that are like need help. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I always try to like, especially with like kids, like when it comes to kids, I'm just like a sucker. It's like someone's like, oh, hey, I need help buying lunch snacks for my kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's your address? I'll Instacart you a bunch, like a week's worth of stuff. Like, just
exactly.
let me know.
Yeah. It literally doesn't take much. And the other day, this is kind of like changing lanes here, but like even went to Tropical Blends the other day. Do you remember the night where like someone smashed like
windows,
so
many windows.
And I gave them a little, I helped them a little tiny bit with, gave them something, and it's just like that. Like I literally I'm not going to miss that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather buy that than like something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't take much. You know what I mean? Like a little something could go a long way,
Yeah.
So
I do that sometimes. I just randomly send people like Starbucks gift cards sometimes.
I do.
That's cool.
I do that to you sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Katie's done that. I just
email.
and it's like a lot of the time it's like people who I've never really met. I just follow them on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, just had like, or they'll post something and it's like, or like they'll be at like an event and I know that they work there and it's like super stressful. And I'll just be like, hey, shoot me your email address. And then I send it and I'm like, check your spam. It usually goes there.
That's great.
And it's just like, I just feel like more people need to just like be understanding and kind.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know everything that's going on, especially with like,
That's
there's
what
like big events or if there's like shit that happens like downtown or anywhere in this, you know what I mean? Like you just don't know.
And I think because those small things have disappeared, that maybe it just makes it feel that much better. Like, you know, when I was a kid, like my neighbor, would just like come over and drop off a pie to my mom. You know what I mean? And like for me now, like for me to like drop off to even make a pie, I'm just like, oh man, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like those little things mean so much. And I feel like even now, like if someone did that for me, I would feel so in someone's debt. But you shouldn't. Like, it's just like, there you go. Like,
it's just kindness.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it's weird because like I've done some kind things for people like recently and the person will be like, what's this for? Or what can I e-transfer for this? It's like nothing. Like you could just, you know what I mean? Like that's just a buddy thing.
Yeah.
That's a little buddy gift.
Just enjoy it.
Buddy gifts. I like
that. Little buddy gifts. Right on.
You've been great.
Yeah.
Taking up a fair amount of your day.
Has it been like 3 hours already?
Yeah. No, an hour and 19 minutes.
Oh, not bad.
Was there anything you want to shout out, like coming up?
Working on, I can't talk about this too much, but working on a documentary right now.
That's cool.
With the peeps from 80/20 and a couple other people from a different production company working on a small documentary. Thank you to you guys. You guys are awesome. This is exciting. you know, and I know you guys work hard and this is, you know, cool. And I appreciate you guys like building this culture, you know, within our community and like talking to
just
people.
Kind of like pump people up.
Yeah. And even though, you know, you like as a person, you might not think your own life is interesting, but once you actually start to talk about it, you're like, oh, I do stuff, you know? So it's interesting for other people to hear.
We do both have mental illness.
Everyone does. And you know what? It's amazing. I guess that's sort of, you know, something to shout out is like, I'm a huge advocate for that. And, just did a run for mental health a little while ago. And, I'm really impressed that like sort of the word like therapist has made its way into like just normal conversation.
Yeah, we're trying to like, we talk about it all the time.
We are big into normalizing going to therapy.
Totally. Well, it's just like and I think it's important because it's like just talking to someone without that doesn't really know you, but it's also someone with like an unbiased opinion about you. You know, if I talk to my friends, maybe I might leave a part of a story out, or if I talk to my wife, maybe I'll leave a part of a story out. But if I go to a therapist, I'm like, okay, you ready?
Here's all the shit.
Get the Kleenex ready.
Yeah.
You know, after I won't go into it too much, but like, you know, I've had help in the past a little bit, and it's the person that helped me like introduce me to like guided meditation, which was really cool. Yeah. So that was a huge one. And other than that, just be good, Quinny. And that's pretty much it.
Make good choices.
Yeah. Make good choices, be kind, help people out, eat good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you need.
We would love to have you back eventually too.
Yeah, version 2, like 10 years from now, like I'll get some more stuff done and then I'll come back and be like, okay. I just have no legs. And you're like, all right.
What did you do? Too much Diet Coke.
Yeah. Thanks, Kay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I have no other words. That is our tagline. That was amazing. And Matt DeMille was truly amazing. He was fun. He was so happy. He's truly raw dogging happiness. And I hope you at some point get to try your food. And I think I'm going to be trying all the fried chicken, he said. We're going on day 3 of rain. I'm looking outside and it's raining right now. And I'm also a sufferer from migraines. So I've been struggling this week with migraines. So to all my migraine sufferers out there, I hope you're surviving the season's change, plus the low pressure system that I feel like is just sitting on top of us. What else? We have a local who is now out of town coming on next week. And then we have some more people scheduled. Thank you to everyone who listens, who has followed us on Instagram, who has liked and subscribed. This is officially episode 16, and there just feels like there's a lot of love and support around what Kay and I are doing here, and we really appreciate it. If you know anyone who you think would be a good podcast guest or has a cool story or anything, hit us up, slide into our DMs, or you can message us on through email at babesofquinty@gmail.com. Also, it's spooky season and we really want to do spooky stories. So if you have any spooky stories from Belleville, like myths or old school stories that are kind of weird and fun, please send them to us. And we're hoping to somehow pull off a spooky episode for Halloween. Have a great week. It's a long episode, but not a lot of us with our intro and extra. So you all rock, stay beautiful, and we'll be tickling your eardrums again next week. Bye.